I'm Liz from Turkey Creek Alpacas. We're going to talk about how to card fleeces today. This is a drum carder. It's a Louette. There's quite a few different types and varieties. What I'm doing is basically this fleece has been tumbled and it has been skirted, so it's ready to card. What I do is I open it up a little bit, and then what I'm doing is I'm feeding it, kind of touching it onto this drum and feeding it slowly through. And what it's doing is as I feed it, you can see it's picking up on the larger drum. This is the drum that is going to be our finished product. This drum here is pulling off shorter, more inconsistent hairs. It pulls off some of the debris and some of the small second cuts that may not have been skirted out. So basically I'm just taking and feeding it slowly back and forth to fill up my drum up here. And I usually figure about 1 ounce for the drum, for the finished bat. So I have a little scale I use, and I usually measure up my fiber beforehand, and I measure maybe a little bit more than 1 ounce, and then that accounts for what's going to be pulled off of here. So my finished bat is going to be roughly 1 ounce. This fiber is from Silver Bullet, one of our males. And he is got very nice soft fiber. This is his 5th fleece. And it's going to make a really nice roving. So what this does, this process gets it ready for spinning. And it takes the fiber, when it takes it in and puts it up onto this, there's like a wire mesh here, and it aligns and straightens the fibers and locks them together. So you'll see when I pull it off. I usually send, depending on the fleece, how long it is and how much debris it had in it to begin with, how clean it is at this process, I usually send it through here at least 3 times, often 4. So if you're going more than 4 times, you probably need to skirt a little bit better. This carder is not as fine as some. You can get carders with a much finer mesh, but I've been using this for 9 years and I'm pretty happy with it. So now I have that fiber all in, and what I'm going to do is I have just a skewer from the grocery store, and I go around and pick out anything that look like anything that might create a noil in your end product, or get out little bits of vegetation that didn't come out during the skirting process. So, not too bad on that one. On the carder, or on the drum, there's a little ditch here. There's no needles right there. And I take this, which comes with it, and I slide it in that little ditch, and I carefully pull it up. And I'm just gonna roll it around. I usually kind of rub the fiber up as I'm going. So this is what you're seeing pulled off here. This is actually not 1 ounce. I just did a small one for this, so it does a much larger bat. You could probably do up to 2 ounces with this. I just don't like to have such large bats. So this is what it looks like finished. And you can see definitely looks different than when we put it in. I usually lay it down and you can see if there's anything that needs to be picked out. Take care of that. Then this is where I pull it apart and I send it through a second time. And you can see I'm just taking the end and laying it in there. And I hold it down with my hand just slightly so that I can control. If you don't hold it down, it's just going to go up onto a big clump and you're going to lose more of it in here. So you do have to control it somewhere. You can see there's some seed heads still. You still want to work it back and forth a little bit. And you can, by doing this too, when you have your hand on it, you can feel if there's something in it, so you can stop and pull it out. You can see it still needs a, it's locked together much more than when it went in, but it's still pretty airy looking. Now with this process done, it'll basically be ready to spin with or sell if that's what you're going to do. This is the final one going in. And again, I go around once more and I pick out anything I might not want in there. Looking pretty good. So, find my ditch again, it's right there. Now, I'm going to actually put this through again, but I'm going to show you how I would take it off if this were the final. What I do in the final is I try and do it in several rows, like every couple rows I'll go and pull it up, and then I raise it up right against the roving. It kind of combs it up, and that way you're getting a nicer look to this side of the bat. The other side looks really nice already. So a little bit hard around the handle, you have to kind of work it. Boy, does it feel nice and soft. It's been washed, and so it smells really nice, and it feels really nice because there's no grimy dirt in it. So there you go. There's your finished bat. It's pretty good size. And what I usually do is I just wind them up. I roll them and I kind of just wind them up for packaging. So there you go. There's your end product.